Welcome to Tangermouse Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp.
And I'm Melissa Delp.
Today we're looking at Vinyl by Talon Strikes Studios. Vinyl is a 2 to 4 player action selection set collection game from Talon Strikes Studios, and it plays in about 60 minutes, and it's coming to Kickstarter this March. Now, this could be a 1 to 5 player game if it hits the right stretch goals.
In Vinyl, you're trying to buy record albums to make the most awesome collections. Now, the more albums you have that fit into your specific type of collection, the more points you'll get.
Let's look at the prototype components. There's the main game board, player boards, cards, meeples, and tokens.
At the beginning of the game, the board is set up with magazine cards in the magazine rack, albums in the records bin and sales bin, and then some off to the side, and then you also have the collections.
On your turn, you can place your meeple on one of the spots on the board to take an action, like going to the magazine rack to get cards, or to the records bin to turn in those cards to get an album card, or going to the sales bin to get an album card at a discount.
If another player wants to take the same action you're already on, your meeple will get bumped. This allows you to take one of the listed bump actions, like taking one of the magazine cards that the player turned in for the album card, or taking a card off the top of the deck in the magazine rack, or completing a card in layaway.
Once you get enough magazine cards, you can turn them in to get an album card from the record or sales bins. The icons on the magazine cards need to match the album card. When you gain an album, you place it to the right of your player board. You can work on 2 collections at a time.
There are 3 different kinds of collections: Pure, Mix 1, and Mix 2. Pure means the albums have the same genre and at least one more attribute that matches. Mix 1 means that the genres are mixed and have at least one matching attribute, like all the same year. In Mix 2, you have to have at least 2 matching attributes. In mixed collections, the adjacent genres can't match, but you could do Western, Pop, Western, for example. As a free action on your turn, you can retire one collection and claim the collection reward. You get more points if you wait to retire until you have a larger set, but you could do better if you retire more often with smaller sets. Retired albums are stored to the left side of your player board.
After the album cards are depleted, then the store closes and players get one more turn. And then the players score their loyalty cards, and whoever has the most points wins.
Now, you can actually get a lot of endgame points from the loyalty cards, because you may get points for having certain sets of genres or having a majority of a specific genre, even if your albums are early or late edition.
Yeah, and the game scales well, too. For instance, in a 2-player game, there's still bumping going on because there's only one slot for the record bins.
Now, I like the set collection aspect of the game, but you can lose track of the theme a little bit as you're looking for specific icons, like, oh, I need a boot or a leaf, and not really think about the connection to the music. Also, I'm not as familiar with all of the genres that are in this game, so I didn't always get the references and the puns on the albums.
But who wouldn't know the Boo Gees? But the theme really comes through in the art and illustrations. It feels like a record store with a magazine rack, record bins, and even a front counter. Now remember, these are prototype components. I wanted to mention that the expansion adds more depth to the game without adding too much complexity. The chart topper pushes players to add different albums to their collection that will increase the genres up to gold or platinum that gives players more points. And the frequent shopper cards that let you break rules throughout the game, like grabbing an additional card in the magazine rack.
I like the bumping mechanic in the game. You can kind of try to read the other players and think about where they might want to go, because if you can position yourself so that you get bumped and get to take that extra action, it's basically like getting another turn.
And I like all the ways you can get points, like the album cards, the collection bonuses, the loyalty cards, and in the expansion, that chart topper's fun. So if you like set collection games or you like this record theme, then check out Vinyl on Kickstarter this March. It's coming to Kickstarter this March.
Much.
It's coming to Kickstarter this much.
How much?
I don't know. Coming to Kickstarter this much.
Again, much.
Stop and restart.